So yeah, there was some NASCAR racing this weekend. Let's go over this trash weekend and see what happened. So we start off with IndyCar. IndyCar at Iowa because it was the doubleheader this weekend. Both IndyCar races were good. The first race, I didn't catch it because of work, but I did watch highlights and saw photos and heard what happened. You know, Simon Pagenaud got the win, but the big talk after that first race was that Colton Herta crash. I saw it. That was scary as hell. You know, with Herta's back end going right into the catch fence. All I say is thank God for the halo and the aero screen / windshield. Because if the halo and the screens weren't there, Herta would have died. Herta would not be alive if it wasn't for the halo and the aero screens. Now for the IndyCar this year, I said the new car, we wouldn't know how safe it truly was until we had a dangerous crash this year. Well, this was our first dangerous crash of the season. And so far, it held up very well. And the fact that after that scary crash, Colton Herta was able to walk away uninjured is a great testament to how far IndyCar's come in safety. There's still a long ways to go, but they're making steps for sure. I always say Colton Herta is very lucky to be alive and be uninjured. And the fact that he was checked and released 24 hours later, another great testament there. You know, even though auto racing's made a lot of steps in safety, you know, time and time again, we are always reminded that auto racing is indeed the most dangerous sport in the world, period. You know, it was described pretty well a long time ago that you can wrap the cars in bubble wrap, you can wrap the drivers in bubble wrap, etc., and you would still have dangerous crashes and shit. You just can't stop the inevitable. But you at least try and make it safer so you can walk out uninjured. But hey, great testament of safety from the car there. So yeah, not bad. So anyway, continuing on, Xfinity. Xfinity happened. That race was utter shit. And of course, the big controversy at the end. Of course, NASCAR, you can't have a race without controversy. Behold NASCAR's newest controversy. What the fuck is merging onto the track too soon? Because apparently, Justin Allgaier gets penalized for merging on the track too soon. A new rule we have never heard of. How come we've never heard of this rule before? Because the dash line at the end of turn 2 is where he's supposed to merge, and Allgaier merged too early. When there were no cars around him, and Allgaier merged on the track safely, but that doesn't matter. Because Kyle Busch was in the race. And of course, NASCAR's got to do everything in their power to try and hand Kyle Busch a win. So yeah, Kyle Busch then goes on in Xfinity and wins the race. But when I'm about to go on and say the Busch sexuals can go on and enjoy their meaningless Xfinity win, hold up, we got a penalty. Beep! Because Kyle Busch's car failed post-race inspection. For the car not meeting the height requirements. So therefore, Kyle Busch has been disqualified and sent to last place. Therefore, the win goes to Austin Cindric? So now Cindric's won 3 races in a row. And all 3 wins have come on oval tracks. This is the most 2020 thing to happen this year. Austin Cindric winning 3 straight oval races. And it's the 2 worst mile-and-a-half tracks on the circuit, for fuck's sakes. This is how you know 2020 is a fucked up year. When Austin Cindric is winning on fucking ovals instead of road courses. Damn. But yeah, that's honestly good karma to Kyle Busch. So Kyle Busch doesn't get his meaningless Xfinity win. Oh my god, Kyle. So Kyle can't go into a fucking lower series without cheating. That shit funny to me. There. Maybe that ought to teach Kyle Busch to not run in Xfinity in trucks. But will Kyle Busch stop running Xfinity in trucks? Hell no. That requires too many brain cells and common sense. Something Kyle Busch doesn't have. Oh yeah, and speaking of trucks, so yeah, there was a truck race that happened. And Kyle Busch was in it. And yep, you guessed it, Kyle Busch dominated and won. So yeah, Kyle Busch wins the truck race. That was actually his last truck start. And sadly, Kyle Busch doesn't get disqualified from this one, so Kyle Busch gets to keep the win. Damn it. It would have been funny as hell if Kyle Busch got disqualified twice in one day. That would have been fucking funny as hell. In fact, let's take a look at the Busch sexuals after that Xfinity race. But yeah. So yeah, Kyle Busch can go on and enjoy his meaningless truck win. And oh yeah, that was Kyle Busch's last truck race of the season. So at least all the truck races will now be watchable from here on out. Now that Kyle Busch is no longer in them for the year. And with that truck win, Kyle Busch is now at 212 total wins. With like 75% of those wins being meaningless wins. Yeah, the only way Kyle Busch can win in NASCAR this year if he goes down to fucking Xfinity and trucks and beats on a fucking bunch of fucking teenagers. Pathetic for someone of his standards. Anyway, let's go on. Let's talk about the other IndyCar race. Race 2. Race 2 I did catch. Because I was actually home for this one. So yeah, IndyCar race 2, it was a good race. Wasn't as good as race 1, but it was still a good race. Joseph Newgarden gets the win, so hallelujah, not bad for Newgarden getting the win. So Penske sweeps the weekend. So yeah, the first time all year that Chip Ganassi didn't win an IndyCar this year. Penske now comes on the board. But still got Scott Dixon is still the man to beat so far. And oh yeah, an IndyCar is now off for 3 weeks until mid-Ohio at the start of August. Aw, man. And we were getting some good IndyCar races too, and now we're off for 3 weeks. Well, I guess IndyCar could have used an off week, you know, since we did run 4 races in the last 2 weeks. So they definitely need a break. So yeah, I guess that's understandable. You still maybe could have run maybe one more race during that 3-week span to make up for what you lost during COVID, but hey, you know what, they definitely need an off week. So I'm not going to complain too much about it. That's just about nitpicking. But anyway, let's talk about F1. Hungary. Nothing happened in this race. Another day, another dud F1 race. Another day, another race dominated and won by Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis Hamilton also now takes the championship lead. Didn't I say Lewis Hamilton would win Hungary? What do you know? Just like clockwork. We know how this is going to end. And also, yeah, Lewis Hamilton, he weighed a whooping on the field so bad, he took an additional pit stop late in the race just to steal the fastest lap of the race bonus point from Valtteri Bottas, his teammate. Just so Lewis can pat on that championship lead. And also, this gives Lewis now his 86th career win. So now Lewis is only 5 wins away from tying Schumacher. The inevitable is going to happen this year. We all know it. Especially since Mercedes is on a fucking another level. Like, not even fucking Verstappen could touch Lewis Hamilton today. But Verstappen did have a good run, though, coming back from the damaged wing during the formation lap to finish second. That was a good run. And even holding off Valtteri Bottas in the closing laps. Fuck, Lance Stroll almost got a goddamn podium. He got 4th. He almost had it. Damn. But yeah, not much in the F1. F1's off next week, so they got an off week. And then they'll be back in 2 weeks for Silverstone. The doubleheader at Silverstone, Lewis Hamilton's home track. I bet, you know what? I'm going to guarantee that Lewis Hamilton probably wins one or both those races. Wouldn't be shocked if he swept both. But yeah, I guess this is the time of year where Lewis is going to pull away in the championship. as Lewis is on the quest for that 7th title to tie Schumacher. But anyway, let's move on to the Cup race. Man, this Cup race was complete trash. Like, this package is complete trash. Not much happened in this race. It was like 4 hours of fucking boredom. Like, god damn it. The only thing that made this race interesting was fucking pit strategy. Where, you know, just trying to go out there and get track position, because 4 tires don't mean jack shit this year, because clean air is fucking god. Like, you can have a 20th place car and win the fucking race just because you have clean air and track position. And we also saw NASCAR's inconsistent rule, where Almirola got screwed over because of this bullshit fucking merging on the track too early line. Hell, even a lot of the drivers were confused about this rule. Most of them didn't understand it because it was just announced out of nowhere. Then again, in NASCAR's rulebook, it says, all of these rules are to our discretion. Which means none of these rules we make matter, and we'll just make up new ones as we go along. So NASCAR, in other words, is just fucking trying to rig this shit just to get their outcome, who they want. And the funny thing is, Kevin Harvick later on in the race, he merged on the track too early, and doesn't get a penalty for it. So all this rule is just another fucking reason to expose NASCAR's inconsistency and bullshit. And the funny thing was, back at Chicagoland 2012, Brad Keselowski merged on the track too early, and yet he never got penalized and won the race. So, yeah. That rule does make no sense. And of course, anytime Jimmy Johnson has a good run, he ends up hitting the wall. And it didn't help that 2 of his crew members were fucking idiots that didn't know their assignments. And then ended up with giving Jimmy a 2-lap penalty while on the crash clock. Like, literally, there was like 5 guys on one side, and then he had a 7th guy on the left side of Jimmy's car just completely lost, not knowing where the fuck he's at. It's like, why the fuck are you on this team if you don't know where you're at? Like, god damn it. Fuck. Like, that ruined Jimmy's race right there. Fuck me. Why can't Jimmy Johnson catch a fucking break this year? God damn it. But yeah, of course, you know, not much really happened until the end, when one fucking dumbass decision decided this race. It was around 30-something to go when Quinn Houff decided to be a fucking idiot and try and go down to the pits unsafely and cause a crash. Like, why is Quinn Houff in the Cup Series? Like, seriously, Quinn Houff is the biggest dumbass on the track this season. Like, Quinn, you do not come up in the middle of the turn and then merge right down into another car trying to go to pit road and wreck. If you are not clear to go to the pits, you do not try and pit. You stay out and you wait until it's safe to go to the pits. Usually when you try pit, you try and go on the bottom lane and then slow down on the bottom and then merge onto the pit safely. You don't come in the middle of the turn and at the last second decide, oh, I'm going to go to the pits without checking my surroundings. It just caused a wreck. What could go wrong? And the funny thing was that when Landon Castle drove the 00 last year for Starcom, it had one of the lowest crash rates in the Cup Series last year. And yet this year, the 00 for Starcom with Quinn Houff has one of the highest crash rates. Why did Landon Castle get fired in the first place from Starcom in place of Quinn Houff? Maybe Starcom will do the right thing and fire Quinn Houff at the end of the year. Like, Quinn Houff should not be in the Cup Series after today, because that was a dumbass decision on his part. And of course, it set the stage for the end, because a majority of the top frontrunners like Logano, Harvick, Kyle Busch and company all took 4 tires. But during all of that, Austin Dillon would take 2 tires, along with Kurt Busch, And then Tyler Reddick would take gas only. So Reddick and Austin Dillon end up getting the front row and the lead on track position. And in the last 20 laps, Austin and 3 wrecks later, Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick would hold off all the cars with 4 tires. Austin Dillon would come through to get the win at Texas. Tyler Reddick comes second to give Richard Childress Racing its first 1-2 finish since Talladega October 2011, when Clint Bowyer edged out Jeff Burton in that photo finish. Yeah, it's been that long. It's been almost 9 years since RCR has won a 1-2 finish. So yeah, mainly for Austin Dillon, he made part of it this win. It was a bit of luck because he happened to be in the right place at the right time when Quinn Houff decided to be a fucking dumbass. In fact, for this week's NASCAR Low-Cal of the Week, we're giving that fucking award to Quinn Houff because that was a dumbass move. Like, Quinn Houff is officially the biggest jackass in NASCAR this season. But hey, let's be real though. Out of all 3 of Austin Dillon's wins in the Cup Series, this is his most impressive one. Because he was able to hold everybody off on fucking 2 tires. Then again, 4 tires don't mean shit. This package sucks ass and clean air is God. And Texas is a one-groove racetrack. Like, seriously, Texas used to be one of the more exciting tracks on the circuit. But ever since they repaved and reconfigured it, it's become one of the fucking worst tracks on the circuit. It's fucking sad to see where Texas has gone down now. There's a reason why a lot of us now call Texas Tex-Ass. Because this track is literally ass now. But anyway, with Austin Dillon's win, Austin Dillon is now in the chase. Crazy thing about this is I thought Jimmy Johnson was knocked out of the chase at first. Until I found out that Jimmy Johnson actually gained enough track positions on the track to leapfrog ahead of William Byron. So Byron gets knocked out. With 8 races to go. So yeah, with Austin Dillon, and that's now 10 spots locked in. So 8 races left out of the chase, 6 spots remain. But yeah, I don't know if we call this 1-2 a fluke because the RCR cars have shown speed at times. Like, Reddick's had some really good races this year. Austin Dillon's had a couple good runs too. So I don't know if we want to call this a total fluke because, Reddick's been the most impressive rookie this season. Other than Cole Custer pulling Kentucky out of his ass. But hey, maybe with this speed that RCR has this year, maybe Austin Dillon's ceiling in the chase is maybe round of 12. But that's just being optimistic. All I say is, hey, one positive. At least Kyle Busch is still winless in Cup this season. That's one thing we can take away from this. And hey, Austin Dillon didn't dump anybody for the win. He won clean straight up. So hey, can't complain too much. But hey, congrats to Austin, This is probably the one win he actually legit earned fair and square. Not Austin Dillon's fault that everybody else chose to be dumbasses and take 4 tires. When 4 tires haven't meant shit at all race. Like, don't get mad because Austin Dillon outsmarted your driver's team. By doing what has been working all day, and that's getting track position. But yeah, this package sucks. This weekend with what happened in Xfinity and the Cup race. Yeah, this was the most 2020 weekend of 2020. And oh yeah, we may still have another surprise winner this year still. Because we still got the 2 biggest wildcard races still left on the schedule before the chase. With Daytona and then the Daytona Roval. Because we don't know we don't know how much of a shit show the Roval will be. Since we've never run the Daytona Roval in the Cup Series NASCAR before. Only time we've ever really seen the Daytona Roval was Rolex 24. That's it. But yeah, next week is Kansas on a Thursday night, so we have a midweek race. And then we also have a trucks doubleheader at Kansas, and then we have a Xfinity race at Kansas. So I'm probably going to do the Cup. I'm probably going to do a race review for Cup after the Thursday race, and then Xfinity and trucks will get its own video. So yeah, that's probably how it's going to work this week. But yeah, no race on Sunday next week, so we get next Sunday off for once. Yay. And we get a midweek race. The last midweek race of the season, so hooray. But yeah, this was a trash weekend for NASCAR and F1, but it was a good weekend for IndyCar though. But yeah, too bad IndyCar's not back for 3 weeks. Yeah, we need a break from it anyway, from having 4 races in 2 weeks, like a 2-week span. Actually it's 4 races in like 7 days. Because you had 2 last weekend and then 2 this weekend. So yeah, they definitely need a break. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace.